Wouldn't it be wonderful if you could receive completely passively dividends from your favorite Canadian companies? Well, today I've decided to analyze many of the biggest Canadian dividend companies to see which one would be the best for you if you want to buy it and hold it in the long run. So I wanted to make sure that the company doesn't only offer a great and high dividend, but also that it had an excellent and sustainable business model for the future. So without losing too much time, let's take a look at this list. To start, I've decided to plunge into one of the most popular Canadian sector, which is the financial sector. And I have decided to choose one of the largest insurance companies in the entire world, which is Manulife with the ticker MFC. Over the past couple of years, as we can see by their valuation, this business has been proven to be a true growing machine while giving an excellent dividend. But what is behind the success of this business? First, as any great insurance companies, Manulife is generating the biggest chunk of their total earnings from their premiums that they charge to their clients. Indeed, when someone wants to contract an insurance with Manulife to, for example, protect a house or a car or even your health, well, this person will have to pay a monthly or an annual fees to the company. Then on their side, Manulife will take the extra of the premiums that they won't have to pay directly to the people that are covered because, for example, they won't have any incidents throughout the period that is covered. And they'll take this money and they will invest it somewhere else during that period, for example, to generate some capital gain or some dividend income. In total, we can see that in their latest earnings report, Manulife had over $450 billion of assets under its management. And obviously, the other income sources from this business comes from the management fees, the policy fees, and the different financial products and services that they are selling to their customers. Globally, we can see that in their latest earnings report, their core earnings were about slightly more than $2 billion or an increase of about 11% year over year. And as you can see, Manulife isn't only present into the Canadian market, but also into the US market and into the growing Asian markets. So they definitely have an interesting business model where they can also adjust the price of their premiums that they charge to their clients depending obviously on each year's what was the sinister that occurred and what are the fees that they had to pay to their clients. But now when it comes to the section that you are all waiting for, which is the dividend section, it is interesting to see that this business currently have a growing dividends of about 3.5% that is paid on a quarterly basis and that has been increased over the past 16 years in a row. On your side, it means that if you would invest $10,000 in that stock, you could expect to earn annually about $350 completely passively from the dividends. And with an excellent sustainable dividend payout ratio of only 55%, it is showing that the company at the moment would have the possibility to increase them in the near future. And on your side, just like me, if you are interested, you could be able to subscribe to their DRIP program, meaning that you could have the opportunity to basically reinvest all the dividends that you earn on a quarterly basis to buy new shares of it. Now for the second company on my list, we'll dive deep down into the other important sector in Canada, which is the energy market. And this time we'll go with one of the largest energy companies in the entire world, which is the business Enbridge with the ticker ENB. With a dividend of slightly less than 6%, Enbridge has been consistently a fan favorite over the past couple of years and decades to being one of the best Canadian dividend stocks on the market. But in my personal opinion, what makes this business pretty interesting and why I personally hold close to 10% of my assets in it is basically its business model. By moving about 30% of the total crude oil that is produced in North America, transporting nearly 20% of the natural gas consumed in the US and operating North America's largest natural gas utility by volume, Enbridge is a true mastodont when it comes to energy field in all of North America. At the moment, they are generating the biggest chunk of their total earnings from their liquid pipeline subsidiary, where with its massive crude oil and liquids pipeline, Enbridge charges a fees to companies for the transportation of oil between production areas to refineries and export hubs. In their latest earnings report, we can see that this branch only represents about 50% of their total adjusted EBITDA. The other part is composed of their gas transmission and midstream branch, which includes includes the transportation of natural gas in North America, as well as their different gas processing and storage facilities. And you also have the gas distribution and storage branch, including the natural gas directly distributed to homes and businesses. Plus, it is important to note that over the past couple of years, Enbridge has been working on developing great renewable energy projects with their objective to have net zero gas emission by 2050. These solutions notably include solar panels, hydroelectric dams, and wind farms that support important customers such as Amazon, AT&T, and Meta. So for me, this business model is extremely attractive by adapting itself to today's needs while thinking about tomorrow's environment. And at the same time, over the past couple of months, we've seen that Enbridge has been consistently making great acquisitions to be able to fuel their growth objectives. Plus, from an investor point of view, it is a great company to invest in, knowing that it is giving at the moment a quarterly dividend close to 6% that has been growing over the past 17 years in a row. It means that on your side, by investing $10,000 in that stock, you could expect annually to earn about $600 from the dividends of it. And on their part, they won't be using the classical payout ratio, but instead they'll be using what is called an FFO, or a funds from operations payout ratio. And knowing the fact that the company aims to keep an FFO payout ratio of between 50 to 60%, it makes that it is a great target if they want to continue to increase their dividends over the next couple of decades. Now, for the third and last pick on my list, we are going back into the financial sector with one of the largest banks in Canada, which is the Toronto Dominion Bank with the ticker TD. By being a member of the Big Five Canadian banks alongside RBC, BMO, BNS, and CIBC, the Toronto Dominion Bank has been an essential actor of our financial sphere and economy over the past couple of decades. Indeed, by offering multiple financial services and products to their consumers, such as credit cards, bank accounts, loans, and mortgage, just to name a few, this company is generating the biggest chunk of their total earnings from the interest of the different products and services that they are selling. Indeed, when you decide to borrow money from TD, it can be to buy a new house or a new car. Well, the company itself will charge you an interest for the risk that they are taking by lending you some money. And then you just have to take the interest payment that they'll receive in exchange, so the interest rate that you'll be charged. For example, in that case, let's say that we are charged at a 5% interest rate. Well, you just have to subtract this 5% with, for example, a 3% that will be given to their consumers that are, for example, having different bank accounts or savings account and checking accounts with them. And so the 2% that will be left will be a direct profit for the company, so for TD in that case, which is called the net interest margin. For the other income sources of TD, they also make some money out of currency conversion from the fees that they will be charging you when, for example, you open a bank account. And they'll also make money out of the management fees that they are charging to their customers, but also from all of the different assets that they hold and all of the profits that they'll be making on them. And just like Manulife, TD is also well impacted not only into the Canadian market, but also into the American market, where we can see that this market by itself represents about 16% of their total earnings. And as we've seen over the past couple of years, TD is also looking to invest even more into our southern neighbor, where they have notably tried to acquire the First Horizon Bank back in 2023. So it is also pretty interesting to see a company like that trying to make great acquisitions, which is another way for them to fuel their growth in the future. Talking about growth, TD, just like for the two other previous picks that I've just presented to you, has been also greatly able to increase their valuation over the past couple of years. And combined to that, they also have an excellent 3.3% growing dividends that have been growing since 2009. This means that on your side, by investing $10,000 in that stock, you could expect annually to earn close to $330 from the dividends of it. Plus, just like for Manulife, you could also have the opportunity to subscribe to their DRIP program, as I am personally doing, which means that you could be able to reinvest your dividends every single quarter to buy new shares of TD. And with a dividend payout ratio of only 35% right now, you can understand that the company would have the freedom to increase its dividends if they wanted in the future. So there you have it. Those are, in my opinion, 3 of the best Canadian dividend stocks that you should have on your watch list if you're looking for great growth as well as great passive income from their dividends. But now, if you're looking to find what are the different companies and ETFs that I personally hold in my own investing portfolio, well, to find the answer to this question, check out the video that's gonna be right over here, and I will see you soon. Peace.